So hello everyone. Today we have come up with the new topics with related to environment current affairs, which is important for this year's prelims. Okay, so it will be a continuation of the last class. Okay, so we'll see the important topics we'll be covering today. So we'll start off with the green agriculture project. Then we'll look into the Convention on Migratory Species, which is also called the Bonn Convention. Then we'll look into the project Elephant, also the snow leopard. Then we'll also see the species Sangai deer, which is found in Loktak Lake. Then we'll see the Dugong Conservation Reserve in Park Bay, and also the Forest Conservation Rules 22. Then we'll also see other major initiatives with regard to forest conservation, and also the Indian State of Forest Report. Apart from that, we'll see the Kangarghati National Park, which was in news, which is in Chhattisgarh. Then we'll see the three cities of the world, that is Hyderabad and Bombay. And then also about the Ramsar Convention. And also the Wuhan Declaration on Wetland Conservation, which was adopted in the latest COP of Ramsar Convention. Okay, so after all these topics of biodiversity, we'll move on to the pollution topics such as the National Clean Air Program, other air quality standards, and also SUFFER, Graded Response Action Plan, along with the last topic, that is BS norm, Bharat Stage Standard, Emission Standards. Okay, so these would be the topics we'll be covering today. So we'll start off with Green Agriculture Project. Okay, so what is this Green Agricultural Project? Yes, okay, it is actually an initiative by the Global Environment Facility of FAO. Okay, it is funded by GF, okay, under FAO. Okay, and this would be implemented in the Desert National Park in Rajasthan. Okay, this is an initiative which they are implementing in the Desert National Park. So what is this Green Agriculture Project? Okay, so as the name suggests, we are trying to make the agriculture in the region green. That is, we are making the agriculture environmentally sustainable. Okay, so it's actually trying to install a transformative change in agriculture sector by conserving the critical biodiversity and the forest landscape in that particular region. Okay, so basically it's trying to harmonize India's agriculture and environmental sector. So they are going to bring in a sync between the agriculture and the environmental sector. Okay, and then as I've already told, it will be implemented where in Desert National Park, which is national park in the western part of Rajasthan, and they are trying to conserve both critical biodiversity and forest landscape in the region. So they are trying to implement agriculture practices which are in sync with the biodiversity and forest landscape. Okay. So they are also trying to develop a grassland action plan for each village in the region. Okay, so that they can ensure community participation as well. Clear? So that is Green Agriculture Project. So remember, it is of FAO and funded by Global Environment Facility. Okay, and it will be implemented where in the Desert National Park, Rajasthan. So this Desert National Park is important because it was asked in prelims. Okay, earlier prelims there was a question related to Desert National Park. So where is this Desert National Park? Yes, Western Rajasthan region, the desert region, right? Especially Jaisalmer and Barmer district of Rajasthan. Okay, and yes, almost 20% of the park is covered by sand dunes. And of course, since the desert region, the rainfall is very less. Precipitation is less than 100 mm. Okay, and you can see all the important species of Rajasthan. That is Great Indian Bustard, state animal Chinkara, Khejri tree, which is the state tree of Rajasthan, and the state flower Rohida here. Okay, it naturally found here. Okay, so that is Desert National Park. Remember, it is in Jaisalmer and Barmer district in Western Rajasthan region. Okay. Okay, so another important species which is found here is Great Indian Bustard. So we spoke about Great Indian Bustard in the last class. So we'll just have a quick review of it. So yes, it is actually the state bird of Rajasthan. It is one of the critically endangered species. Okay, and it is also protected under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. And I've told you that the population is fast declining and the number is less than 150. Okay. And also majority of the population, there's almost 95% of this great Indian bustard is found in the Rajasthan region. And that is why government has taken up so many conservation initiatives as well. Okay. Apart from the conservation initiative, there is a captive breeding of great Indian bustard in the Desert National Park. Okay, and it is organized by who? The Wildlife Institute of India. So captive breeding of great Indian bustard is happening in Desert National Park. Okay, and also it is part of the Convention of Migratory Species, CMS. Okay, we'll see about CMS later on. Remember, great Indian bustard is part of listed under the CMS. Okay. So, yes, I told you it is critically endangered species found in this western desert region. Okay. So, that is great Indian bustard. Okay. So, now we'll move on to the next important topic, that is Convention on Migratory Species. Okay. So, yeah, whenever you talk about like the earlier topic, the Great Green Agriculture project, you must remember what? Yes, it will be implemented where? In Desert National Park, right? Then what? Yes, it is to bring harmony between agriculture and the nature. Okay, in order to what? Conserve the critical biodiversity and the forest landscape. Okay, and yes, Desert National Park will be implemented. Okay, and the species found, one of the important species found in the Desert National Park is the Great Indian Bustard. Okay, so these are the things you must remember. Okay, then we'll move on to the next important topic, that is Convention on Migratory Species. It is also known as what? The Bonn Convention. Okay, so whenever you say the Bonn Convention, generally it means Convention on Migratory Species. There are also other Bonn conventions with regard to UNFCCC, etc. But the specific term Bonn Convention is in relation with what? Conservation on migratory species. Yeah. So we'll see what the conservation on migratory species is. Okay. Yes. CMS, yeah, this Bonn Convention, its COP is called actually Global Wildlife Conference. Okay. So COP of CMS, this Convention on Migratory Species, is called Global Wildlife Conference. Okay. And you must remember, this is an organization under the aegis of what? The UNEP, that is United Nations Environmental Program. So CMS was constituted under UNEP. Okay, CITES was constituted under which? IUCN, and CMS is under UNEP. Okay, you should not confuse between the two. Okay, so why is this organization there, or why is this convention there? Right, it, as the name suggests, it is to conserve the migratory species. That is all terrestrial, marine, and avian migratory species. It's not just the terrestrial migratory species. It also conserve the marine and avian. Avian means birds. Okay, flying species. So all kinds of migratory species are conserved through this word, Convention on Migratory Species. Okay, and India is a party to CMS, and it became a member in 1983. Okay, and apart from India, Indian subcontinent, Pakistan and Nepal are also a part of CMS. Okay. Another important thing you must remember is, and also this Convention on Migration Species, COP, is held once in 3 years, and whoever holds this COP, they become the president of the CMS for the next 3 years. Okay. So another important thing is the CMS COP. The latest one was held in 2020 in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Okay, latest COP was held in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and hence India will become the president of the Bonn Convention until 2020. Okay, remember, whenever somebody holds a COP, they assume the presidency. Okay, during the term next 3 years, and since Gandhinagar hosted the 2020 COP, India will be the president up to the next COP convention. Okay. Yes. And what were the initiatives taken by India when they hosted the COP? Yes. An additional 10 migratory species was added to this conservation program of CMS. Okay. And in this 10, the three important species from India, which was added, was Asian elephant, jaguar, and great Indian bustard. Okay. So three species from India, that is Asian elephant, jaguar, and great Indian bustard, was added in the 13 COP in Gandhinagar. Okay. And yes, there was a national action plan for the conservation of migratory species, which is under the Central Asian Flyway. Okay, remember India is a part of the Central Asian Flyway. What is the Central Asian Flyway? Yes, the birds from the Arctic region, all the way from Arctic up to Indian Ocean or Africa. The birds fly, right? Like, for example, the Siberian crane. They fly all the way from Siberia to India to Africa. Okay, so that corridor is called the Central Asian Flyway. Okay, and in the last COP, this National Action Plan was created. Okay, India launched it. Okay, apart from that, India has already signed what in earliest convention on CMS conventions. India has what agreed to conserve Siberian cranes, marine turtles, dugongs, raptors, snow leopards, etc. Okay, and remember the next COP will be held this year, 2023, in Uzbekistan. Okay, so until then, India would be the president. Okay, so remember the last COP in 2020 was held in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and the next COP would be held in Uzbekistan. Okay, and we have launched a National Action Plan for Central Asian Flyway. Okay, and we have already been conserving species such as Siberian cranes, marine turtles, dugongs, raptors, snow leopards, etc. Okay, so that is Convention on Migratory Species. Now we can see this flyways. Spoke about Central Asian flyways. So you can see all the way from Arctic and Siberian region to India, that is Central Asia to South Asia and the Indian Ocean. They also flow all the way to Africa also. Okay, so this is the Central Asian Flyway. Okay, then India also has a small portion of the East Asian Flyway, especially the northeast of India, or some part of northeast of India and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so this is the flyways. Okay, so that is what Convention on Migratory Species. Okay, so we spoke about what it is. It is called the Bonn Convention. Okay, it comes under the aegis of what UNEP. Yes, and also we spoke about the latest COP, where was it at? Gandhinagar, and species such as elephant, jaguar, and great Indian bustard was included from India, apart from other 10 species. Okay, then also what next COP would be headed where in Uzbekistan, and India also launched the National Action Plan for Central Asian Flyway, right? And yes, these are the important points. Also, India is the president up to the next COP. Clear? Yes, so that is about what the Convention on Migratory Species of Bonn Convention. Okay, now we'll see the next topic, that is Project Elephant. Okay, so what is Project Elephant? Yes, it was launched in 1992 by the MOEFCC, that is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, Project Elephant. So it would be in the lines of what the Project Tiger and other initiatives, other projects by the government. Okay, it is a flagship program. It mainly provides financial and technical supports for Asian elephants, especially the free-ranging population. Okay, wild Asian elephants found in the forest. It is a centrally sponsored schemes, and the main objectives of this to protect elephants, their habitats and corridors, to address the issue of man-animal conflict, and also the welfare of captive elephants. Okay, conserve both wild and well as captive elephants. Okay, so remember its objectives. The main one is to protect elephants, their habitats and the corridors. Okay, it's not just the habitat, elephant corridors are also conserved. And another important thing is it addresses the issue of man-animal conflict. Like along the forest, that is the buffer zone of the national parks, usually there is always man-animal conflict, right? And also it ensures the welfare of captive elephants. Okay, So what is the major problem issues that elephant is facing? Yes, you know, right? It is posed for what? Its horns, elephant tail, etc. Right? And we are trying to protect this. Another important threat it facing is the corridors. Most of the corridors of elephants are fragmented. Like, for example, all the trains in Odisha, the rail path is passing through this elephant corridors. Highways are passing through this elephant corridor. So whenever these elephants cross through this corridor, a train comes and hits it. Okay, and it dies. This is another threat. And it also lead to other man-animal conflict. Like, for example, if there's a sugarcane plantation, elephants come and eat all the sugarcane. So it leads to what? Man-animal conflict. Okay, the farmers would try to kill the elephants. So these issues are trying to be addressed through the initiative Project Elephant. Clear? So that is Project Elephant. Now we'll see another initiative, that is MICE. Okay, monitoring the illegal killing of elephants. Okay, this is an initiative under the CITES. Okay, and it was started in South Asia in the year 2003. So MICE is monitoring the illegal killing of elephants, and it was considered under CITES in the South Asian region in the year 2013. Its major purpose is to provide information regarding what elephants in the elephant range states to make appropriate management and enforcement decisions. Okay. Apart from that, it also ensures what institutional capacity. It also creates or builds institutional capacity within these what elephant ranging states. Okay, and also ensures that long-term management plan to conserve the elephant is there. Okay, so it tries to what provide protection to elephants in the elephant range country. It tries to conserve the elephants. Okay, and the main objectives include to what measure the levels and trends in illegal hunting. How much illegal hunting of elephants is happening, and what are the trends now? Also tries to determine the changes in trends. Like, for example, in 10 years time span, how much decline in what hunting has happened. These trends would be studied by this MIC. And also, what are the major factors associated? Why is there this decline, or why is there a change in this illegal hunting? And they also try to understand whether this change, that is decline in this illegal hunting, happened due to any initiative by the sites. Okay, so if there has been a decline in both poaching or any other related activities, what is it mainly because of any initiative of the sites? That is measured through what MIC. Okay, so they try to determine the levels and trends in illegal hunting. If there's any change in the trend of illegal hunting, whether there's increase or decline, and what are the major causes that has led to this changing trend. Okay, and they also try to understand if it is mainly because of any initiatives by the sites or decisions made by the sites. Okay, so these are the major objective of MIC. So you must also understand what the important sites, MIC sites in India. Okay, so in Assam we have two sites, that is Chirang Rupu and Dang Patkai. Then West Bengal there is Eastern Duars. Arunachal we have Biomali. Okay, Meghalaya there is Garo Hills. So you can see all these are in the northeastern region. So Assam there is Chirang Ripu, Dang Patkai, West Bengal, Eastern Duars. Arunachal Pradesh there is Diomali. Meghalaya there is Garo Hills. And Odisha there is Mayurbhanj, which is identified as MIC sites. Remember, these are the states, okay? Districts in each of these states. In Karnataka, the Mysore is there. Tamil Nadu, Nilgiri. Okay, and in the north there is Shivalik, Uttarakhand, and Kerala. In Kerala there is Wayanad. So 3 in the south there is Mysore, Nilgiri, and Wayanad. Okay, 1 in the north that is Shivalik. In Odisha region 1, Mayurbhanj, and rest is in the northeast. That is 2 in Assam, Chirang Ripu, Dang Patkai, West Bengal, Eastern Duars, Diomali in Arunachal Pradesh, and Garo Hills in Meghalaya. Clear? So you can see these sites in the map. Okay, so you can see here. See, here you have the Diomali, Arunachal Pradesh, Dang Patkai, Assam. Okay, then yes, Chirangrupu is here. So one Assam site is here, and another one is this end, Daingpatkai and Chirangpuri. Okay, then we have this what? Sorry. Yeah, Garo Hills. Garo Hills is in Meghalaya. Okay, then Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh, we have what Deomali. Then what West Bengal, we have Eastern Dwars. Remember, this is in the northern part of West Bengal. Okay, and in Odisha, we have Mayurbhanj. This Shivalik in Uttarakhand. Okay, and in the south, we have Mysore, Karnataka. Tamil Nadu, we have Nilgiris, and in Kerala, we have Wayanad. Okay, so these are the important mic sites. Clear? So that is about mics. So mics is an initiative for what? To conserve or preserve the habitats of what? This elephant, especially under the CITES. It is under the CITES agreement. They try to monitor the trends in illegal hunting of elephants and the changes in trend. What are the major factors and reasons for these changes in trend? And also, is it because of any of the initiatives of CITES, this changing in trends has happened? Okay, that is studied under mics. Okay, they are trying to monitor the illegal killing of elephants. Yeah. Okay, so that is mics. Remember, mic is with regard to what? The elephants. Okay, elephant conservation. Okay, another important initiative by the government is Project Rehab. Okay, what is Project Rehab? Okay, so I've already told an important challenge with regard to what elephant conservation is the man-animal conflict. So in order to reduce this man-animal conflict, the government has launched the Project Rehab. Okay, so it reduces the conflict between people and animals, especially in the state of Karnataka. The Karnataka government has launched this as a pilot initiative. It is being adapted to other states as well. And the rehab is reducing elephant-human attacks using bees. Okay, honeybees are being used to what? Reduce human-animal conflict. So remember the expansion, because UPSC has a tendency to ask what the expansion. Like they give the what abbreviation as what is the expansion. Okay, so it's reducing elephant-human attacks using bees. Okay, so rehab. So what are they doing with this rehab? How are they trying to do? So yes, along the edge of the forest, like for example, in the buffer zone, okay, where there is a continuity after forest, there is agriculture plantations. Remember, if there is any situation like that, at the border, at the edge, they create bee boxes. Okay, they start what? Cultivation of bees, honey bees. So whenever the elephant tries to come to these agriculture plantations, especially sugarcane plantation, etc., this bee hums. Okay, the sound of these bees, they try to what? Distract the elephant. So elephant does not come near the communities or the agriculture plantations. Okay, so these bees cultivation along the border at the edge of the forest is done through this Project Rehab. Okay, so this was what mainly done along the outskirts of what? Buffer zone of Nagarhole National Park and Tiger Reserve, because most of the agricultural fields around this national park is frequently attacked by elephants and tigers. So this initiative was taken about. Okay, and yes, as I've already told, it uses bee fences. Okay, bee fences are used as a means to what? Distract or divert the elephants. Okay, then there is also this Khadi Village, KVIC, which is the implementing agency or the organization which has brought about this scheme. KVIC, Khadi and Village Industrial Corporation. Okay, so these are the important points you must remember about rehab. It is with regard to what? Elephant attack on reduce man-animal conflict and with the aid of bees. Okay. Yes, also remember it is also part of National Honey Mission. Okay. Remember it is also part of National Honey Mission. Okay. So two things you must remember is, what are the advantages of rehab? Yes, there are two advantages. One is to reduce man-animal conflict, and when such a mission is taken out and carried out, it ensures an alternative income for the farmers of the region. Okay, like it gives what income from the honey produced from these regions. So that is why it is also part of National Honey Mission. Okay, that is Project Rehab. Yeah. Okay. So another important topic is Shivalik Elephant Reserve. So where is Shivalik? Yes, it is the Tarai region, right? Tarai region. Okay. So it is the Tarai region at the foothills of Himalayas. Okay. And it is in the state of Uttarakhand. So what happened was recently the Uttarakhand government tried to denotify this elephant reserve so that they can expand what their Dehradun airport. Okay. So they tried to denotify this Shivalik elephant reserve. But then what happened? They then told no, we are not going to continue with it, and they repealed this decision. Okay, so as of now, they are not going to what denotify this Shivalik elephant reserve. Okay, and yes, so we must know where this Shivalik elephant reserve is. It is in the eastern part of Uttarakhand, northeast part of Uttarakhand, with this what. With the national parks, such as Rajaji National Park is there, Corbett Tiger Reserve is there, Nandaur Wildlife Sanctuary, and Sona Nadi Wildlife Sanctuary. So all these are part of this Shivalik Elephant Reserve. Okay. So we have Rajaji National Park, Corbett Tiger Reserve, Nandaur Wildlife Sanctuary, and Sona Nadi Wildlife Sanctuary. Apart from that, almost all of the Uttarakhand's wild elephants are found in this region. And also the western part of this Shivalik Elephant Reserve is bordered by the Yamuna River, and the eastern part is by the Sharda River or the Kali Nadi River, Mahakali River. Okay. So we have on the west part there is Yamuna, and the east there is Sharda River. Okay. The Sharda River was asked in prelims 2 years back. Okay. So this is also important. Okay. So remember, it is in Uttarakhand, and it has the highest population of all the Uttarakhand elephants. Okay, all the Uttarakhand elephants are found in this Shivalik Elephant Reserve. And inside the Shivalik Elephant Reserve, there is Rajaji National Park, Corbett Tiger Reserve, Nandaur Wildlife Sanctuary, and Sona Nadi Wildlife Sanctuary. And also, the western border is the Yamuna River, and the eastern border is the Sharda River. Okay, so that is Shivalik Elephant Reserve. Okay, so these were the important things which was in news with regard to elephant. So you must remember about the Project Elephant, the flagship initiative of the government. We also spoke about what the mics and the mic sites in India, right? And then we spoke about what? Yes, the Project Rehab. Okay, to reduce the man-animal conflict with the aid of what? Bees, honey bees. Okay, it's also part of National Honey Mission. Okay, and also, yes, the last topic we saw was regarding the Shivalik Elephant Reserve in Uttarakhand. Clear? Okay. So now the next important species we'll be learning is about the snow leopard. Okay, so all of you would have learned about snow leopard. Yes. So yeah, where is it found? Yes, as the name suggests, snow. It will be found only in the regions where there is snow. So where is snow found in India? It is in the Himalayas. Okay, so it would be found only in this alpine and subalpine regions. Okay, high altitude regions. That is at an elevation more than 3,000 to 4,000 meters. Okay, so alpine and subalpine regions, they will be found. And it is not just found in India. It is found all the way from Mongolia, eastern Afghanistan, western China, and India. Okay, all these regions. Okay, almost 12 countries are there. We'll see those countries. Okay. So, yes, this is the snow leopard range. Okay. And also when there is like snow in the lower elevations, it will also be found there. Like, for example, in Mongolia, it will be found in lower elevations, right? So, and also it is listed as vulnerable. Okay, remember this in IUCN, it is just vulnerable. Okay, it's not endangered or critically endangered. Earlier, it was endangered, and it was delisted to vulnerable based on its conservation. Okay, so now it is vulnerable as per IUCN. It is also part of Appendix 1 of CITES, Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, and also it is a part of CMS. Okay, Convention on Migratory Species, one convention. Okay, so that is snow leopard. So it is found where in the alpine and subalpine regions. Okay, all the way from Siberia, Mongolia to China. Okay, and Himalayas. Okay, and also remember it is vulnerable in IUCN. It is also found in Appendix 1 of Sites and Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, and also in the Convention of Migratory Species. Okay. Now we'll see what are the initiatives taken up by the government in order to conserve this species. Okay, what did India do? Yes, India has declared what snow leopard as a flagship species of high altitude mountains. That is high altitude Himalayas flagship species. Okay, that means it is the phase of Himalaya. Okay, and hence they have launched what Himal Sanrakshak. It was an initiative launched in 2020 as a community volunteer program. Okay, so whenever we are taking up any initiative with regard to conservation of any species, the community there is like the people participation that is very important. So that is why Himal Sanrakshak was launched as a community volunteer program. Okay, so it tries to conserve the snow leopards in this region. Okay, so started in 2020. Apart from that, in 2019 there was a national protocol launched. Okay, in order to assess the population of snow leopard, and it has been very useful. So there was a first national protocol which was launched to assess the population of snow leopards in 2019. It was launched. Okay, so we have Himal Sanrakshak and the national protocol. Apart from that, there is an initiative called Secure Himalaya. Okay, so it is a global environmental facility UNDP funded project. Okay, it does not actually directly conserve the snow leopard, but it tries to conserve Himalayas. Okay, tries to conserve the high altitude biodiversity of Himalayas by reducing the dependency of the local communities there. Okay, so they're trying to conserve the Himalayas, and which in turn tries to conserve the snow leopards. Okay, so that is Secure Himalayas. Remember, it is a global environment facility UNDP funded project. Okay, and yes, also we have the flagship program that is Project Snow Leopard. It was launched in 2009. It was similar to Project Tiger and Project Elephant, and we are trying to ensure a participatory approach for conserving the snow leopard and its habitat. Okay, so we have Himal Sanrakshak has also been declared as the flagship species of the Himalayan region. There's also a national protocol launched in 2009. Then we have Secure Himalaya, which is a global environment facility UNDP funded project, and also the Project Snow Leopard. Okay. Apart from that, another most important initiative is GSLEP. Okay. So its abbreviation, an expansion of this abbreviation is Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program. GSLEP. Okay. Global Snow Leopard Ecosystem and Protection Program. Okay. It is an intergovernmental alliance of 12 snow leopard ranging countries. So I told you there are 12 countries where this snow leopards are found, and this is an intergovernmental alliance. Okay. India has become a party in 2030. And so the other countries which, apart from India, which are part of this are like, for example, in the neighbors of India, that is Nepal, Bhutan, China, we have Pakistan and Afghanistan. From the North Asia, we have Russia and Mongolia. And the 4 Central Asian stans, that is Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Okay, so we have India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Mongolia, Russia from north, Pakistan, Afghanistan is there, and the 4 stans in Central Asia. That is Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Remember, one state which is not there is, one nation which is not there is Turkmenistan. Okay, apart from Turkmenistan, all the other stans are here. Okay, so that is the GSLEP, the countries which are part of GSLEP. Okay, and what do these people do in GSLEP, this initiative do? They try to create awareness and understanding of the snow leopard and its ecosystem, so that people an initiative for conservation of snow leopard in these regions. Okay, so it tries to create awareness and understanding of the value of snow leopard in these ecosystems. Okay, that is GSLEP, and this is the range where you can find the snow leopards. I told you, right? Russia, Mongolia, then all the stans. Okay, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Then you have Afghanistan and Pakistan here. Then India, Nepal, Bhutan, and China. Okay, so this is the range of what? This is the range of snow leopards. Okay, remember all these 12 countries. Okay, here, so that is GSLEP. Okay, then there's another initiative called Living Himalayan Network Initiative. So what is this Living Himalaya Network Initiative? Yes, it was launched by World Wildlife Forum, WWF. Okay, and it is launched across 3 countries. That is the Eastern Himalayan countries of Bhutan, India, not the whole of India, only the northeastern part, and Nepal. 3 countries. Okay, Bhutan, India, and Nepal. And it tries to ensure transformation, conservation impact. Okay, they're trying to what? Transform and conserve this Himalayan region. Okay, Living Himalaya Initiative. It's an initiative by World Wildlife Forum. So we know climate change is going to impact this region like phenomenally. There'll be a huge impact, right? So they're trying to adapt to climate change by connecting the habitat and saving iconic species. And snow leopard is one of the iconic species found here. Okay, so this is a Living Himalayan Initiative. It is an initiative by WWF in 3 states, 3 countries, that is Bhutan, India, the northeastern part of India, and Nepal. Okay, and they're trying to adapt to climate change by what? Connecting to the habitat and saving iconic species such as snow leopard. Okay, so that is Living Himalayan Initiative. Okay, so these were the initiatives with regard to what? Snow leopard. So we spoke about the snow leopard, the species. It is vulnerable species. It is in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, and also the sites, and also what? It is also part of the CMS. Okay, Convention on Migratory Species or the Bond Convention. Apart from that, we spoke about what? The Protect Snow Leopard, the Himal Sanrakshak Initiative, right? A protocol also was launched. Okay, in order to study census or the population of snow leopards. Then we also spoke of the GSLEP initiative, that is an intergovernmental initiative along the snow leopard ranging countries, that is 12 countries. Okay. Then the last initiative, that is Living Himalaya Initiative. And also we spoke about the Secure Himalaya Initiative. Okay. So these are the initiatives with regard to what? Snow leopard. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we move on to the next species, that is Sangai deer. Okay. So where is the Sangai deer found? It's also called the dancing deer. Sangai deer, another name for dancing Sangai deer is the dancing deer. Okay. It is actually found in Manipur, and it is the state animal of the Manipur. Okay, so it is a brown antler deer. Okay. And another interesting factor is it has a coat which is dark reddish brown in color in the winter month, and it has a lighter shade in the summer. Okay, it changes its color. Okay, winter and summer, based on the climate, it changes the color. And remember, it is not just found in India. There are other countries such as the Indochina countries, that is Cambodia, China, Laos, Myanmar, etc., which are countries in Southeast Asian region, also have what? This Sangai deer population. Okay, but in India, it is found only in this Manipur, that is Loktak Lake in Manipur. Okay, we'll see about that later. Remember, this is found. Why is it called the dancing deer? Yes, there is something called fumdis. What is fumdis? These fumdis are found only in this Loktak Lake region, and it is actually floating vegetation, floating foliage. Okay, so basically there is a piece of land which is floating on top of the water, and this Sangai deer is found on that. So whenever it tries to walk, it seems like it is dancing on that fumdis. Okay, so whenever it tries to walk, it seems like dancing on the fumdis, and that is why it is called the dancing deer. Okay, so Sangai deer or the dancing deer. Okay, remember it is found only in Manipur in India, but it is also found in the Southeast Asian countries. Okay, and you must also know about fumdis. Okay. Yes. So yes, I've already spoken about the habitats. So this habitat is mainly found in what? The shrubland and grassland, also in forest and marshlands. So this fumdi is actually marshland. Okay. So yes, depending on each country varies habitat, but mainly grassland and marshlands. Okay. And in India, it's found only in Manipur's Loktak Lake. And in IUCN, it is what listed as endangered species. Okay. So that is about dancing deer. And this is what I've spoken about the Fumdis. Okay, this is Loktak Lake, and you can see the floating vegetations here, right? So all here you can see this is the floating vegetations called Fumdis in Loktak Lake. And on top of this, you will have what the Sangai deer population. Okay. Yes, so that is Sangai deer. So we'll see what this Loktak Lake is. So there is a national park in the Loktak Lake called Kebul Lamjau National Park. Okay, remember this name, Kebul Lamjau National Park. It is in Manipur, where there is Loktak Lake also, and it is the only floating national park in the world. Remember, you saw the picture of this Fumdis, right? That is why this is a floating national park, and it is the only one in this whole world. Okay, and remember, it is also the last natural habitat of the Sangai deer. Okay, that is Kebul Lamjau National Park. Now we look into the Loktak Lake. Loktak Lake is one of the largest freshwater lake found in the northeast India, and it is also famous for this Fumdis. Okay, and yes, Fumdis. What is Fumdis? It is a mass of vegetation, soil, and organic matter. It is a mix of this, which is in various stages of its decomposition. It is not fully decomposed. It is in its various stages. Okay, vegetation, soil, organic matter together. Okay, and it will be floating over this lake. Okay, and also remember, Loktak Lake is under Ramsar Convention, and also it is listed under Montreux's record. Okay, Montreux, we'll see what is Montreux's record later on. But remember, it is one with highest conservation. Okay, so Ramsar Convention, Montreux's record, this is part of, okay, Loktak Lake. Okay, so remember, there is Kebul Lamjau National Park, okay, which is the only national park which is floating in the world, and it is the last natural habitat for Sangai deer. Yeah, and also the Loktak Lake. So that is about Sangai deer. Remember, IUCN status is what? Endangered. Okay. Yeah. So yes, that is Sangai deer. Okay. Now we'll see the next species, that is dugong. Okay. So there is a new Dugong Conservation Reserve in Park Bay region, which is proposed by the Tamil Nadu government. That is why this is important. Dugong is also a species which is frequently asked by UPSC. Okay. So this species, about this species, UPSC has already asked. Remember, yes, this Dugong Conservation Reserve. It is the first conservation reserve exclusively for dugong, and it will be in what, Gulf of Mannar, Park Bay region. Okay. And it is an initiative by the Tamil Nadu government. Okay. So what is this dugong? Yes, another name is sea cow. Okay. And remember, it is the only herbivorous species. That is, it is a vegetarian. It eats only plants. Okay. So the only vegetarian species found in the sea. Remember, all the rest are what? Omnivorous or carnivorous. So only herbivorous species found in the sea is dugong. Okay, it is also, that's why it's called sea cow. Okay. Yes. So we'll see more about these dugongs. Okay. They are part of the marine ecosystem. Okay. And whenever it depletes, it threatens what, the ecosystem. Okay. Then yes, where is it found? It is found in so many other countries. Apart from India, there are almost 30 countries. And where is it found in India? Yes, we already spoke of Gulf of Mannar and Park Bay in Tamil Nadu. Apart from that, there is Gulf of Kutch and Kambat region, Gujarat, and the Andaman and Nicobar coast. Okay. So mainly remember, where is it found? In India, yes, Gujarat, coast of Gujarat, that is Gulf of Mannar, Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Kambat region, coast of Tamil Nadu, Gulf of Mannar, Park Bay region, and what, Andaman and Nicobar region. So these are the habitats of what, dugong. Okay. And it is listed as what, vulnerable in IUCN Red List. Okay. So remember, it is not endangered or critically endangered. It is just vulnerable in IUCN Red List. But it is also in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act and Appendix 1 of CITES. Okay. So that is the dugong. remember what is the initiate? I mean, what is the what is it called? It is called the sea cow. It is the only herbivorous species found, right? Found in the sea. Okay, not just the whole animal species. In the sea, it is the only vegetarian species or herbivorous species. Okay, yeah. Okay, then what else have we saw? Yeah, it is vulnerable as per IACN. And where is it found in India? It is found along the Gujarat coast, that is Gulf of Kutch and Kambat, what Tamil Nadu coast, Park Bay and Gulf of Mannar, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Yeah, so that is dugongs. Okay, now we'll see what are the initiatives taken by the government in order to protect this species. Yes, so dugong, I've already told it is part of CMS, Convention on Migratory Species. As India has already signed an MOU, non-legally binding MOU with regard to dugongs in 2008. Okay, so in order to ensure this conservation, MOEF, that is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, has launched what? A task force for conservation of dugongs. Okay, they've launched a task force for conservation of dugongs so that what this CMS dugong, what we have signed MOU, what is a success, okay, is implemented. Okay, and also India has signed what is acting as the leading nation in South Asian sub-region in order to protect this dugong. Okay, so these are the initiatives taken up. Okay, now we'll see about the park state. So I told you there is this initiative, the latest initiative taking place. It is in Park Bay region, or Park Street region. Okay, so we'll see about this. So you can see in this picture, right? So what is a strait, Park Strait? It is a narrow water body separating the landmass of India and Sri Lanka. So this is the Park Strait. Okay, this narrow water body. Okay, this you must know what is straits, what is bay, etc. Because last mains it was asked about the straits. Okay, and what stay? Yeah, yeah, about the straits where it is found. The distribution extra was ours in mains. Okay, so remember it is narrow water body separating two land masses. Okay, so here it is between India and Sri Lanka. And it is named after who? The Robert Park, that is British governor of Madras Presidency. Okay, he was a British governor, Park of Madras Presidency, and this strait is named after him. Okay, and the region above this, that is, you can see here, there is one bridge, small bridge, which is called the Adams Bridge. Right, Ram Setu or Adams Bridge. Okay, so it actually connects Rameshwaram to Sri Lanka through Pamban Islands. Okay, so this, on top of this we have the Park Bay, and below this we have the Gulf of Mannar. Okay, so we have Park Bay above this. So this water body is called Park Strait, and above this Pamban Island or this Adams Bridge we have what? The Park Bay, and below it is the Gulf of Mannar. Okay, and also remember what this Gulf of Mannar. Okay, it is declared as a marine national park in India. Okay, Gulf of Mannar is also a marine national park, and we have rivers such as Tambirani and Vaipai River, which is draining into this Gulf of Mannar region. Okay, and also the Tuticorin port, the famous Tuticorin port is on this region. Okay, Gulf of Mannar. Okay, yeah. So remember these locations. It is very important, especially for geography related questions. Park Strait, Park Bay is above this Adams Bridge, and Gulf of Mannar is below this Adams Bridge. Okay, clear? Okay, so here we spoke about what? The dugongs. Dugong, its status, and also the initiatives taken up by the government in order to conserve our dugong species. Apart from that, we also spoke about the Park Strait, Park Bay, and Gulf of Mannar conservation list. Also, where is dugongs found in India? It's not just found in Tamil Nadu coast; it's also found in what Gujarat coast and Gulf, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so you basically might ask, it is found only along the coast of Tamil Nadu or only along the coast of Gujarat. So whenever such question is asked, remember that statement is wrong. Okay, and nowadays there is also another tendency, it is found only along the coast of what? One state or two states or three states. So you'll be able to answer such questions as well. Okay. So yes, that is it about dugongs. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next topic, that is Forest Conservation Rules 2022. Okay. So this is the latest rules with regard to forest conservation. Okay. It is what? And it was issued by who? The MOFCC, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And also remember, it is under the Forest Conservation Act. This is issued, and also what supersedes what the Forest Conservation Rules of 2003. Earlier there was Forest Conservation of 2003, which is replaced by the latest Forest Conservation Rule of 2022. Okay, remember, it is under the Forest Conservation Act and under the Ministry of what? Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Yeah. Okay, so that is Forest Conservation Rule. So what are the new changes that has happened in this Forest Conservation Rule 2022? Yes, a new body. There is an advisory committee is constituted under this rule. Okay, and what does this do? Tries to restrict to advisory committee is restricted to advise on any matter connected with what? The conservation of forest. Okay. So there is a restriction. Okay. And apart from that, there is a project screening committee in each state and UT which oversees the projects. Whenever there is a project taken up in the forest region, it oversees the project and it gives what? The clearance. It has to be if the project needs clearance or not. It is decided by who? This project screening committee. Then there's a regional empowered committees, as well as there's emphasis on what? Compensatory afforestation. Okay, so we'll see about compensatory afforestation later on when we see CAMPA. Okay, remember, these are the changes. So there's an advisory committee, there's a project screening committee, regional empowered committees, and also focus on compensatory afforestation in the new rules. Okay, clear? Yes, today it is actually a bit of factual. So you must remember these facts for prelims. Okay, at least these facts. Okay. So we'll see what are the other initiatives with regard to forest conservation. So whenever we speak about forest conservation, the first act that comes to us is the Forest Conservation Act, which was enacted in 1980. Okay. So it gives authority to who? Central government with regard to what? To practice sustainable agroforestry in forest areas. Okay. That is, anybody who wants to practice sustainable agroforestry, they need the permission of the central government. And why was this act enacted? In order to ensure or limit deforestation, conserve biodiversity, and save wildlife. So it was actually a conservation initiative. So earlier forest acts like Indian Forest Act of 1927, they all tried to work. It was actually enacted by the British government. So they tried to extract all the forest resources from the forest. Through this act, which overruled the earlier act, they tried to they understood that there is a need to conserve forest, and that is why this act was enacted. Okay, and this tried to basic aim was to limit deforestation, conserve biodiversity, and save wildlife. Okay, and whenever there is agroforestry, that is, agriculture, most of the agriculture has taken place across India by after deforestation of forests, right? Agriculture land was taken up. So this would be reduced, and they try to ensure sustainable agroforestry practices. Okay, with the assistance of central government. Also, in 1988, there was a national forest policy which came about. So what does this national forest policy do? Okay, since the 1970s and 1980s, the basic aim was to conserve this forest. Okay, earlier, although it emphasized on the commercial value of forest, since 1980s, we are focusing on the ecological value. That is, we're trying to conserve the forest. Okay, so the basic objective of this policy was to maintain environmental stability and ecological balance, especially in the forests, and considering the forest as natural landscape, national heritage. Okay, so they're trying to ensure this environmental forest stability and ecological balance. Remember, this also they understood, like initially they tried to put in the Forest Conservation Act with total protection. Okay, but then they understood that there should be people participation, right? Especially the tribals of the region. Only if they are taken into account can the forest be conserved. So this forest policy took up a participatory approach. Okay, they gave forest community rights and they asked them to conserve the forest. Okay, and there was a shift from commercial concern on to the ecological role. Earlier, I told you most of the forest was with regard to what the commercial value of the forest. Then he's focused on what the ecological value. Okay, and also in under this, the goal of this policy is to achieve at least 33% of the geographical area under forest cover. So this was a policy launched in 1988. And how much is the forest cover now? It's around 24.62%. Okay, so we have not increased much. Okay, so the aim is to achieve at least 33% of the geographical area under, that is almost 1/3 of India's area under forest cover, but we are far from it. Okay, as of now, according to the latest census, we'll see it status. We just have 24% of the area under the forest cover. Okay, so that is National Forest Policy. Okay, so we have the Forest Conservation Act and the National Forest Policy. And remember, National Forest Policy also ensures what? Participatory approach. Okay, now we'll see the Compensatory Afforestation Fund or the CAMPA. Okay, so there is a Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act. Okay, it was passed in 2016. Earlier there was a temporary fund, but through this act, it created a permanent fund called the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority. Okay, so why is there Compensatory Afforestation Fund? Okay, we know that the projects, that is, there are so many projects taken up by various governments, right? And this forest areas, that many of the projects would be in and around the forest, like for example, mining or all the projects as in industries related to mining would be around this mining region, and it might be in the forested area. So we cannot actually completely conserve the forest. So we'll have to deforest or cut down the trees. So whenever such a program or such an initiative is done, a project is carried out, whatever area of the forest is deforested, a monetary value is put to it. Certain amount, like for example, 100 rupees for 1 meter squared of forest. Okay, it's just an example. Okay, if that is the value, 10 times or 5 times the value, that would be what has to be paid by that industry to the government, so that they can ensure compensatory afforestation. So whenever the forest is cut down, they have to reconstruct the forest in some other region through this fund. Okay, and this the companies would be giving money for this compensatory afforestation. Okay, so whenever they deforest an area, they give money so that this forest can be a compensation to the forest, so that they can be cultivated somewhere else. Okay, so that fund is kept under this CAMPA, that is Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority. Okay, actually this is actually a problem because many of like the latest reports suggest that the fund, like people have been paying funds, that is the private sector has been paying funds, but most of the fund is not utilized. That means there is no practical afforestation happening. Very less is happening. Okay, it's actually a problem, but still they are paying for it. Okay, so we'll see how this fund is working. So there is a two-tier system, that is a National Compensatory Afforestation Fund is there and State Compensatory Afforestation Fund is there. Okay, and at the national level, we just keep a 10%, and in the state level, we give about 90%. So whatever fund is given to this CAMPA, 90% is allocated to states for compensatory afforestation and for conservation preservation of forest, and 10% is maintained at the central level or national level. Okay, this is how this fund is acting. Okay, so remember, compensatory afforestation was launched in 2016. Okay, and this act has considered a permanent CAMPA. Okay, a fund management authority and planning authority, and two-tier system, national camp. There's a national fund as well as a state fund. Or into the state fund, 90% of the fund is distributed, and the remaining 10 is maintained at the national level. Okay, that is CAMPA. Okay, so we spoke about what the Forest Conservation Act 1980, National Forest Policy, and also the CAMPA. Okay, now we'll see what the Indian State of Forest Report 2021. Okay, so this is actually a biennial publication. Like, for example, every 2 years they publish the Indian State of Forest Report, and even this year they would be publishing. It's not yet published. Okay, so yes, what is this report about? Yes, it is a biennial report by the Forest Survey of India. Okay, and we'll see what are the latest highlights of this report. What is the latest trends? It actually measures how much forest cover is there, what is the improvement in forest cover, which states has highest forest cover and lowest forest cover, etc. Okay, and yes, according to this, the total forest and tree cover has increased to 24.62%. Okay, so there has been an increase. That is, the total forest cover is 24.62%. Remember, according to National Forest Policy, aim is to achieve 33% of forest cover. Okay, at least 33%. Okay, and also if you're taking area wise, which state has the highest area under forest? Largest area? It's Madhya Pradesh. Then Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Maharashtra. So you must remember this order because UPC has a tendency to ask. Okay, so remember the largest area. It's area wise, okay, square kilometers. So Madhya Pradesh has the largest area, followed by Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Maharashtra. Okay, and percentage wise, which has the highest geographical area? That is as a percentage of the total area of the state. The northeastern states have highest area. That is Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, and Nagaland. See, states like Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram has more than 90% of the area under forest cover. So remember, this is percentage wise. That is northeastern state. That is Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, and Nagaland. Area wise, it is Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Maharashtra. Okay. Yes, and also remember one more thing. Although percentage wise, northeastern states has highest percentage, it is showing a declining trend in the forest cover. Okay, there has been a slight decline in the forest cover. Okay, and also in the latest this report of the State of Forest Report, first time this tiger reserves, tiger corridors, and Gir forest has also been taken into account. Okay, the forest cover in these regions has been assessed for the first time. Okay. And an interesting fact is, yes, in the tiger corridors, there has been increase in the forest cover, while in the tiger reserves, there has been a slight decline. Okay, just 0.04%, but still it is a decline. Okay, so remember, tiger corridors, there has been increase in forest cover, and tiger reserve, there has been decline. And also, 20 tiger reserve has shown an increase in forest reserve in the last 10 years, and decrease in 32 tiger reserves. In 32 tiger reserve, there has been a decline in forest cover, and 20 tiger reserve, there has been an increase. Okay. Okay, then we'll see which are the important tiger reserves which has had an increase and decline. So you must remember these names and the states where it is. There's a Buksa Tiger Reserve in West Bengal, Anamalai in Tamil Nadu, and Indravati in Chhattisgarh. These three has shown an increase in forest cover. Okay, so there is Buksa, West Bengal, Anamalai, Tamil Nadu, Indravati, Chhattisgarh. Okay, so remember it's in West Bengal, Buksa. Annamalai, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, it's Indravati. Okay. So they have shown an increase. And where there has been decline? Yes, there's a Kaval Tiger Reserve in Telangana, Bhadra in Karnataka, and one again in West Bengal, there is Sundarban. Okay, they have shown a decline in forest cover. There have been losses. Okay. And one interesting fact is there's a Pakki Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. We spoke about Pakki Tiger Reserve last class, okay? When we spoke about what? The Nameri National Park in Assam. So Nameri is continuation. We have Pakki Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. And this has the highest forest cover of 97%. Okay, 97% of this area for Pakki Tiger Reserve is under forest cover. Okay. And apart from this tiger reserve, mangrove area has also been calculated and an increase of 17 square kilometers of mangrove reserve has been found. Okay. Slight increase of 17 square kilometers mangrove reserve. Okay. So this is the Indian State of Forest report. So we spoke about what? Yes, it is a biennial publication by Forest Survey of India. Right? Then what are the latest trends or latest findings of the report? So there has been an increase and it has reached 24.62%. Okay, for total forest and tree cover, right? Then also, yes, the states which has the highest area and which has the highest percentage of area under forest cover, we saw those. And then we spoke about the initiative. That is, we also in the latest study, we have considered what the forest under the tiger reserves, tiger corridor, and also Gir forest. And the interesting facts that there has been increase in forest cover in the tiger corridors and a slight decline in the tiger reserves. Okay. And the important tiger reserves which was mentioned was Buksa in West Bengal, Annamalai, Tamil Nadu, Indravati, Chhattisgarh, and Kaval, Telangana had a decline, Bhadra, Karnataka, and Sundarbans in West Bengal had a decline. Okay. And yes, Pakki in Arunachal Pradesh has almost a 97% area under forest cover. Okay. And mangroves, yes, mangroves, there has been an increase of around 17 square kilometers. Okay. Clear? So that is about what the Indian State of Forest report. Okay. So next is the Kangar Ghati National Park. We'll see about the Kangar Ghati National Park. This is a national park in Chhattisgarh. Okay. We'll see about this. So, why is this important? Yes, this has been given community forest rights. The Chhattisgarh government has recognized community forest rights for the tribals of the Kangar Ghati National Park. Okay. That is why this is very important. Okay, but this is not the first national park which has received this this community forest, right? Earlier, Simlipal in Odisha. So, that is Simlipal, it is in Odisha. It has also been recognized as It has also recognized the community forest rights of the tribals. Okay, so this is the second national park. That's Kangar Ghati National Park in Chhattisgarh, which has been which has recognized the community forest rights of the tribals. Okay, so what is this community forest rights? Yes, we know the tribals, they actually have what? They actually try to conserve the forest. So whatever the traditional practices they use to conserve the forest are recognized by the government. Okay, so those are called community forests, the rights of the community living in the forest. Okay. Clear? So whatever traditionally practices or whatever the conservation they do is considered as the means for protection of these forests. Okay. And this Kangar Ghati National Park, the name Kangar Ghati means it is on the banks of the Kangar River. Okay. That is how this national park gets its name. That means Kangar River is flowing through this Kangar Ghati National Park. And also an interesting factor in this Kangar Ghati National Park is the caves. Kudumbasar, Kailash and Danda caves. Okay. These are the 3 caves found in this Kangar Ghati National Park. And the fact is that they have what? Stalactites and stalagmites. Stalactites and stalagmite structures within the cave. So what are the stalactites and stalagmites? So these are actually what? Limestone topography. Okay. So whenever there's limestone, this underground water seeps in, and they deposit this limestone on the floor, or it will remain hanging from the roof. So these structures are called what? Stalactites and stalagmites. They are actually what? Depositional feature and erosional feature of limestone topography. So these caves, Kudumbasar, Kailash, and Dantak in Kangarghati National Park have what? Stalagmites and stalagmites. So you can see here, see. So water drops, takes all the limestone and it drops. So when it deposits on the bottom, it is called stalagmite. And on top, we have what? We have the stalagmite. And when they join together, we have what? These pillars. And this whole system is called a karst cave. Okay. So it's a karst topography or limestone topography, and this is called a karst cave. Karst, karst. Okay. So we have both stalactites and stalagmites. Clear? So this is also found where in Kangarghati National Park. Okay. Yes. And another important thing which is found there is Thiradkar waterfalls. It means Thiradkar means Tir. Okay. And also the forest type found here is mixed deciduous. That means we have sal, teak, etc. Both dry deciduous and moist deciduous. It's a mixed deciduous forest. Okay. And another important species found here is Bastar Maina, which is also a state bird of Chhattisgarh. Okay. So what is the interesting factor of this Bastar Maina? Yes, it emulates voice. It can actually mimic the voice of human beings. It actually mimics all the voices which it hears. Okay, even if it hears a voice or the sound of an alarm clock, it mimics that. So whatever sound it hears, it mimics it. That is Bastar Maina. Okay, and it is also a state bird of Chhattisgarh. Okay, so these are the important things about Kangarghati National Park. Okay, so remember it is in Chhattisgarh, and it is the second national park which recognizes the community forest rights of the tribes there. Okay, and also the karst here, there is stalactites and stalagmites which is found there. Okay, yeah. Yes, so that is Kangarghati National Park. And another important topic which was in news is the tree cities of the world. So what is this tree city? Yes, nowadays there has been high focus on what? Urban forestry. So what is urban forestry? It's urban regions. In the urban regions, we are what? Cultivating forest, right? So most of the cities are promoting urban forestry, and 2 cities in India has been recognized as a tree city of the world. One is Hyderabad and one is Mumbai. Okay, and this is an initiative by who? The FAO and Arbor Day Foundation. Okay, that is United Nations FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and Arbor Day Foundation has recognized 2 places in India, that is Hyderabad and Mumbai, as the tree cities of the world. Okay, and remember Hyderabad is recognized for the second time consecutively. Okay, so why is it there? Yes, they're trying to ensure greenery in the cities, and also trying to grow urban trees so that we can build a resilient, healthy, and happy city. Okay, so we know that there is urban heat islands. Cities are the greatest pollutants of greenhouse gases, etc. So such initiative would ensure reduce the impact of climate change and global warming, and also ensure sustainable development. Okay, and they are trying to build a resilient structure. Okay, and also Hyderabad is awarded this Tree City Award for the second time. Okay, so that is Tree Cities of the World. Remember, it is by who? FAO and Arbor Day Foundation. It's not just a UN body; it is also Arbor Day Foundation. 2 cities have been recognized, that is Hyderabad and Mumbai. Okay, so they are awarded this based on their efforts to ensure urban forestry. That is to ensure greenery in the urban areas. Okay. So that is 3 cities of the world. Okay. And also there are 5 standards through which this 3 city is, which it measures to ensure if like they're trying the parameters which they take about to ensure if there is greenery developed or not. So that is as the first parameter is establish responsibility, that is to ensure what green to plant the trees, etc. They set the rules. I mean, if there is rules, like for example, if there is rules to ensure that at least so much area should be cultivated tree, that is rules for like planting trees in between in the highways, at the border of the highways. So such or along the community, as in like public areas, to grow trees in the public areas. Such rules would be recognized. The city should also know what you have, like the type of trees, the type of forest. Like for example, if they are promoting Miyakawa method of forestry, then the type of forest you must have, the species in there. Okay, allocate the resource, that is funding and other resources. And also, if the project is more successful, they have also to celebrate the achievements. For example, you can celebrate the tree day or like environment day. The all the achievements, like for example, if the trees, if there is an increase in green cover, that has to be celebrated. So based on these standards, what this initiative measures the tree city. Okay, they identify the tree city. Clear? So that is tree city initiative. Okay. So next important topic is the Ramsar Convention. Okay. So this was a convention for conserving the wetlands, which was launched in 1971. Okay. So whenever you hear Ramsar Convention, you must remember it is with regard to what? Wetlands. Convention on wetlands. Okay. It is an intergovernmental treaty, and the basic objective is what? Conservation and wise use of wetland and their resources. This is very important because even for mains, UPSC has asked what's the wise use of what? What do you mean by wise use of wetlands? So these terms are very important. Okay. So yes, so Ramsar Convention, we told it is with regard to what? Wetland conservation and the wise use of wetland and their resources. Okay. And this was adopted in the city of Iran. City of Ramsar in Iran. Okay. It is a place in Iran and in 1971. And it is under who? It is the depository, as in the convention depository is the UNESCO. And it came into force in 1975 after all the countries ratified. Okay. And its headquartered is at IUCN in Switzerland, Gland, Switzerland. Okay. And also remember, with 75 years of independence, when we are celebrating the 75th year of independence, we have assured at least what? 75 Ramsar sites. We have declared at least 75 Ramsar sites. Okay. So it is 75 at 75. There is 75 Ramsar when India is celebrating the 75th year of independence. Okay. So now we have 75 Ramsar sites. Okay. So that is Ramsar Convention. So whenever we speak about Ramsar Convention, there are so many Ramsar sites recognized across India or across the world. But the most important ones is the Montreux record. It is also under the Ramsar Convention. Okay. So those sites which have what? Changes in ecological characters, which have, if there is a change in ecological characters which have occurred, which are occurring, or which could occur in the future, or likely to occur due to what? Human intervention, such as what? Technological development, pollution, etc. Such areas are recognized, or such wetlands are recognized under what? Montreux record. That means there is extreme chances of deterioration of such wetlands. So that is Montreux record. In India, there are two Montreux sites. That is, there is ClearIAS National Park in Rajasthan and Loktak Lake in what? Loktak Lake means Cable Lamjao National Park. Okay. These two are under what? The Montreux record. So ClearIAS National Park is from Rajasthan and Loktak Lake is from Manipur. So remember, one is in the west, one is in the east. East, northeast, that is Loktak Lake in Manipur, that is Kebul Lamjao National Park. And in the west, we have Keoladeo Khana National Park in Rajasthan. Okay. So these are the two sites under the Montrix record. Remember, earlier there was Chilka Lake also, but in 2002 it was removed. Okay. So Chilka Lake also was part of this Montrix record, but in 2002 it was removed. Okay, Chilka Lake is in Odisha. Okay, that is Ramsar site in Montrix record. Okay, so it is really difficult to study all the 75 Ramsar sites. So what we can do is study all the important ones and the latest editions. Okay, so we'll see the latest additions to this Ramsar sites. Okay, from Odisha we have three, that is Tampara Lake, Hirakud Reservoir and Ansupa Lake. One from Madhya Pradesh, that is Yashwant Sagar. Tamil Nadu has a lot. We have Chitrangudi, Suchindra, Vadavur and Kanirakulam Bird Sanctuary. Okay, Maharashtra, there is Thane Creek, Jammu and Kashmir 2, Haigam Wetland and Shalbug Wetland Conservation Reserve. Okay, so remember, even if you don't remember all the 75, it's really hard to remember all the 75. At least this you must remember. Okay, so Odisha we have Tampara Lake, Hirakud Reservoir and Ansupa Lake. Madhya Pradesh, Yashwant Sagar Lake. Okay, Tamil Nadu, actually a lot more has been introduced very recently, but these are the latest one in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so we have Chitrangudi Bird Sanctuary, Sujinindram Terur Wetland Complex, Vadavur Bird Sanctuary, Kanirakulam Bird Sanctuary. I know it's a bit difficult to remember these names, but just remember corresponding to the states. Okay. And Maharashtra, yes, Thane. Whenever you hear Thane, it's in Maharashtra. You'll remember that. Okay, Thane Creek in Maharashtra. And Jammu and Kashmir, 2. This is also important. Haigam Wetland Conservation Reserve and Shalbug Conservation Reserve. Okay. So at least these you must remember. Okay. So whenever you have a prelims question, you can at least eliminate the options. Okay. You can, at least if you know this, at least a few you can eliminate and get the answer. Okay. Clear? So that is the Ramsar sites and the Montrix record. Okay. So the latest COP in Wuhan. In the latest COP, there was a Wuhan Declaration adopted on wetland conservation. So latest convention on this Ramsar Convention COP, Wuhan Declaration was adopted. So we'll see what Wuhan Declaration is. Okay. Yes, it was adopted in the 14th COP of the Ramsar Convention, Wuhan Declaration. Okay. And they are trying to adopt practical measures to conserve, restore, manage for restoration management and sustainable use of wetlands. Okay. So they have identified that wetlands has to be conserved in order to tackle the climate change, because climate change would be impacted on the wetlands as well. And this Wuhan Declaration tries to calls for adaptation of practical measures for conservation of conservation, restoration, management, and sustainable use of wetlands around the world. Okay, so that is Wuhan Declaration. It was adopted in the latest COP of the Ramsar Convention. Okay, and what are the key priority areas? Yes, they are trying to prevent and reverse the wetland loss. So whenever there is a wetland loss, they are either trying to prevent it or reverse the wetland loss. They are also including wetlands in National Action Plan. Okay, so every country has to constitute national action plans for conservation of wetlands. That means they have to create laws and plans and also implement in accordance with the sustainable development goals. Okay, and also they define what strategic goals and so always remember, whenever there is such an initiative, it cannot be done by the government alone. So there should be other stakeholders also involved, such as the civil society, the academicians, the private sector, etc. So all of them come together for what? In order to, they must be included whenever there is a conservation initiative. That is also part of this Wuhan Declaration. Okay. And also they are emphasizing on nature-based solution for mitigation or reducing the impact and adapt to climate change. Okay, so that is by promoting a healthy ecosystem. So they are identifying that wetland is a natural mechanism to overcome what? The impacts of climate change. Okay. So why is it so? Why is wetland something which can what reduce the impact? Okay. In global wetland outlook of the Ramsar Convention, in the second outlook, three issues were identified. That is sea level rise, coral bleaching, and changing hydrology. So wetlands are vulnerable to these impacts: sea level rise, coral bleaching, and changing hydrology. Okay. And if the wetlands are conserved, okay, if the government is trying to conserve the wetlands, such impacts could be reduced. That means the impacts that is, we can adapt to climate change, or we can mitigate the impacts of the climate change just by conserving what? The wetlands. So that is why Wuhan Declaration was adopted in order to address this issue. Clear? So Wuhan Declaration, remember, it is with regard to what? Wetlands, and they are asking to consider wetlands as a natural mechanism to adapt or to mitigate the impact of climate change. Okay. And why is it so? The impacts which wetland would be facing is sea level rise, coral bleaching, and changing hydrology. If wetlands are conserved as a part of national action plans, what we can overcome the impacts of climate change. Clear? Apart from that, they are also recognizing what? Other stakeholders such as civil societies, public, private sector, etc. Okay, other than the government, which has to be what? A part of this wetland conservation. Yeah. So that is Wuhan Declaration. Okay, it was adopted in the latest EOP of Ramsar Convention. Okay. So these were the important topics with regard to what? The biodiversity topics. Now we'll move on to the pollution related topics. Okay, so one of the most important areas is air pollution, which UPSC asks very frequently, and all the initiative with regard to air pollution also is of importance. Okay, the first program we'll see today is the National Clean Air Program. So what is this National Clean Air Program? Yes, it is an initiative launched in 2009 by MOFCC, that is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so it is a program to create what? Clean air action plans. Okay, and also recently there has been reports that the progress of this is very slow, and there has been only incremental reduction, a small reduction in the pollution levels. Okay. So we'll see what the National Clean Air Program is. So basic target of National Clean Air Program is to reduce what? The pollution to 20-30% level of PM2. That is particular matter is considered, that PM2.5 and PM10, which is the major causes of pollution. Their levels is to be reduced by 20-30% by 2024, and the base year is 2017. This was the major goal of what? NCAP. And yes, under NCP, we have identified 132 non-attainment cities. Okay, so based on the air quality data, there are 132 non-attainment cities, and based on this program, we are proposing a city-specific action plans for monitoring the pollution levels, for reducing the vehicular emissions, and also to increase public awareness. Okay. So we are launching a city-specific action plan, and there are 132 non-attainment cities. Okay, and this implementation of this such program is regularly monitored by committees at the central and state level. So there will be committees which are monitoring the city-specific action plans, and the goal is for 20-30% reduction of PM2.5 and PM2.10 by 24 and 2017. Okay. Yes, and also there is a Prana web portal. So whenever you hear about Prana web portal, remember it is with regard to what? National Clean Air Program, and its expansion is portal for regulation of air pollution in non-attainment cities. So we already spoke about the 132 non-attainment cities, and this portal tries toward regulation to give information regard to what? This air pollution in these cities. So they give information about what? The various policies and programs and initiatives in such cities to the stakeholders, and also what the progress made, what is the improvement that has happened through these initiatives. Okay, so that is the Prana web portal. So especially in non-attainment cities, they give what are the major initiatives by the government and the other stakeholders with regard to what reduction in this pollution level and what are the progress made, what are the improvement in air qualities. Okay, and one interesting fact I told you already, the target was what, 20 to 30% reduction in PM 2.5 and PM 10 by 2024. Recently, lately, this target has been renewed. So now the target has been changed to what? 40% reduction by 2026 of particular matter. Okay, PM 2.5 and PM 10, 40% reduction. There's a proposed 40% reduction by 2026. Okay, earlier it was 20 to 30%, now it is 40%. Okay, so whenever we are speaking about National Clean, so that is National Clean Air Program. Okay, whenever we speak about such program, there's also, we must also look into other standards, other initiatives. Okay, so what are the other initiatives? Yes, there is WHO's new air quality guidelines. This was also asked recently by UPSC. Okay, so in the latest initiative, there is 2021 guidelines which recommends new air quality levels. So there is, they have actually reduced the earlier standards of pollution level in order to ensure more protection to the human beings. Okay, and they have also identified 6 pollutants, which are the major pollutants which pollute the air. Okay, which have a huge impact on human health. So these 6 pollutants are PM 2.5 and PM 10, that is particular matter 2.5 and particular matter 10. This 2.5 and 10 is actually the size of the particles. Okay, 10 microns, 2.5 microns, etc. Okay, that means whenever there is a dust particle, the size of the particle. So when these two size are particles of these two sizes are greatest pollutants on the air. Okay, so PM, we have the pollutants. The pollutants, we have PM 2.5, PM 10. When we have the ground level ozone, O3. We have the nitrous oxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, so these are the 6, and also carbon monoxide. These 6 pollutants are identified by what WHO in their latest initiative, okay, latest guidelines, and they are telling this would have a greatest impact on the human health. Okay, so 6. Remember these 6 pollutants. Most of the air quality standards measure these 6, at least these 6 pollutants. Okay, so we have PM 2.5, PM 10. Then nitrous oxide and sulfur dioxide, then ozone and carbon monoxide. Okay, so this is WHO's new air quality standards. Yeah. Then another initiative by the government is National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Okay, so the latest initiative, we have the National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Okay, so it is an initiative by the Central Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB. Okay, so these are standards set by CPCB, National Ambient Air Quality Standards, and this is conferred, that is CPCB has been conferred this authority under what? Air Act, Air Pollution Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. Okay, and yes, I've already told WHO measures what 6 pollutants, but this National Ambient Air Quality Standards were set standards for 12 pollutants. Okay, so yes, which are the pollutants? So obviously the 6 pollutants would be there. So we have sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, PM 10, PM 2.5. Okay, carbon, ozone and carbon monoxide. Apart from that, we have lead, ammonia, nickel, benzene, benzopyrene, and arsenic. Okay, so these are the 12 air quality measuring indicators. Okay, pollutants which are measured by National Ambient Air Quality Standard. Remember, it is a standard set by CPCB under the Air Act. Okay, so which are the pollutants which it measures? Sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide. We have PM 10, PM 2.5, ozone, carbon monoxide. Then apart from that, we have lead, ammonia, nickel, benzene, benzopyrene, and arsenic. Okay, so these are the ones measured by what? National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Okay. Okay. The next important one is the Air Quality Index. Okay. This has also been started by whom? Yes, the government, in order to measure the daily air quality in every city. Okay. So we have certain standards, that is National Ambient Air Quality Standards, and this Air Quality Index measures what? The daily air quality standards. Daily air quality level in every region across the country. Okay. And whenever there is a change in pollution level, it's actually a color band method. Each color indicates the level of pollution. Like, for example, green means least pollution, red means high pollution. And there are certain values which it has, and based on that we can understand how much severe is the level of pollution. Okay, and what are the steps that has to be taken in order to decrease the level of pollution. Okay, so that is air quality index. So it tries to measure what? Daily air quality levels, and it also focuses on the health impacts, okay, within a few days or hours if such polluted air is breathed. Okay, and according to this, yes, we know that particulate matter, that is airborne particles, and ground level ozone are the biggest threat to human health. Apart from NOx and SOx, it is nitrous oxide and sulfur oxide, that they are also a threat, but the greatest threat is the particulate matter and ground level ozone. Okay, actually ground level ozone what results in photochemical smog. Okay. So this is a air quality, that is air quality index. So it measures the daily air quality and it focuses on the health impacts in a few hours and days. Okay. Yes, again, which are the pollutants which it takes into consideration? So in National Ambient Air Quality Standards, we had what? We had 12 pollutants, right? In this, we have only 8 pollutants. Okay. So yes, the 6 pollutants which we spoke about in WHO would be there. Okay, that is PM10, PM2.5, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. Then we have, yes, ground level ozone and carbon monoxide. These are 6. Okay. Apart from that, we have ammonia and lead. Okay. So these are the 8 ones which is under air quality index. So the 6 ones are very common in all the 3, that is National Ambient Air Quality Standards and WHO guidelines. So the first 6 ones are there. Apart from that, in this there are ammonia and lead, and the rest, that is benzene, benzopyrene, etc. are there in what? National Ambient Air Quality Standards. 4 more in National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Okay. So remember these 8 names. Okay. So yes, that is air quality index. So you can see the air quality index. Like, for example, this was the standard of air quality yesterday in Trivandrum. Okay. So this, you can see the color. It is good. Green color. Okay. So yes, all the measures are given. Particulate matter 2.5. How much the concentration of particulate matter 10, etc. So this is the standard in Trivandrum yesterday. The level of carbon monoxide, everything is given. So it's green color. That means it's safe. It's good, safe for breathing. You can see, now we'll see Delhi. See, Delhi, it's pink color. That means, one more thing. Yeah, you can see the band here. You can see the bands. Green, yellow, orange. Pink means it's dangerous. Violet, more dangerous. Severe. This is severe plus category, 400 plus. Okay. Clear? So, this air quality index is based on this color grid system. Okay, and yes, Delhi, you can see it is pink color. That means high pollution. Okay, it's given, it's unhealthy for breathing. It's yesterday's air quality standards in Delhi. Okay, and also the PM 2.5 and PM 10. See, it's so much, 287 particles are there. Okay, so yes, this is the value. So everything is exceeding. Okay, everything is so high. Okay. So, and you can see the most polluted cities yesterday. We have what? Bhiwadi, Begusari, okay, Patna, etc. Clear? So this is how National Air Quality Index is measures the pollution level. Okay. So now we have another initiative called the SUFFER. This also tries to measure the air quality standards. It actually forecast the standards. That is, it is what system of air quality and weather forecasting and research. Okay, so it is actually an initiative of Ministry of Earth Science. Okay, so they try to measure the standards based on what the air quality of metropolitan. They try to measure the air quality of the metropolitan cities based on the weather conditions. Like for example, it monitors all weather parameters like such as temperature, rainfall, humidity, wind, etc. Based on that, they measure what the air quality index. I mean the air quality standard of cities, metropolitan cities, and overall pollution levels. Okay. And remember, this is an initiative by the World this is recognized by World Meteorological Organization as a prototype activity. It is a successful prototype, and it has been recognized by WMO as a high quality control and standards. Okay. And remember, it is also what an initiative by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology and operation by Indian Meteorological Department. Okay. So yes, that is a system of air quality and weather forecasting and research suffered. Okay. Remember, it is not of other ministries, it's Ministry of Earth Science, not MOFCC. It is Ministry of Earth Science, and it measures what the weather parameters. Okay. Based on that, it measures what the quality of air. Okay. It monitors the weather parameters, and also it is by what the IMD. It is operation by IMD, and it is what it was developed by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Okay, so that is suffer. And which are the pollutants it monitors? Yes, we have PM 2.5, PM 10, nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, carbon monoxide. So these six are always there. Okay. Then apart from that, we have benzene, toluene, xylene, mercury, and mercury. Sorry. Okay. So the 6 ones are there. Apart from that, we have additional 4 ones. PM 2.5, PM 10, nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, and carbon monoxide. Then we have benzene, toluene, xylene, and mercury. Okay. So they monitor these pollutants, and also the based on what the weather parameters in the region. That is what SAFER does, and it is by whom the ministry. It is under the Ministry of Earth Science. Yeah. Okay, so that is SAFER. Now there's one more initiative, that is Graded Response Action Plan, which is very important. Okay, so we spoke about what all the standards. That is, we spoke about the WHO guidelines, National Ambient Air Quality Standards, the Air Quality Index, and the graded grid wise, the color grid wise demarcation of what this air quality index, and also we spoke about SAFER. Okay, and remember all the how the pollutants are coming under. So we have the 6 pollutants, and under each and every indicators, like the 6 pollutants, that is particular matter PM 2.5, PM 10, the SOx and NOx, that is sulfur dioxide and sulfur oxide and nitrous oxides. Apart from that, carbon monoxide and ozone. This is common in all the parameters. Then all the other additions also we saw. Okay. Yes. The next important initiative is the Graded Response Action Plan. Okay. So what is this Graded Response Action Plan? Yes, it is the response. Okay. How we have to respond based on the air quality levels. Okay. If there is high pollution, what the government should do. Okay. So based on various grades, that is various levels. Okay. This action plan has been constituted. So that is Graded Response Action Plan. So we'll see what this Graded Response Action Plan is. Okay. So this is actually implemented by who? The Commission for Air Quality Management. Okay, and according to this, recently, this Graded Response Action Plan has been enforced in Delhi NCR region. So we already saw how low is the air quality in Delhi, and recently this has been launched in Delhi, NCR region. Okay, remember this graded response action plan is a mechanism in the NCR region, that is all the states in the NCR region, that is Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and UP, so that they can improve the air quality in the region. Okay, so this is in the Delhi NCR region. This graded response action plan is implemented. Okay, and it is implemented by the Commission for Air Quality Management. Okay, so yes. So basically, I told you it is an important what emergency response measures. Okay, which is kickstarted in order to prevent further deterioration of air quality. So already the air quality would have reached a certain level, and in order to prevent further deterioration, this action plan is launched, graded response action plan. Okay, and this was actually considered based on the CPCB report in 2016, and it was notified by the MOAPC, that is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, in January 2017. Okay, so the this graded response action plan was based on CPCB report and notified by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so what does it do? Yes, also the data by which it forecast is obtained from what Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology and Indian Meteorological Department. So these two organizations gives them the data, and based on their data, they kickstart the action plan whenever there is high pollution in the Delhi NCR region. Okay, so there are various stages. There are actually 4 stages. Then this graded response action plan kickstarts. That is, the first stage is kickstarted when the air quality reaches a poor category. That is when the air quality is in the range of 201 to 300. Okay, the first stage starts. The stage 2 actually starts when 3 days prior to very poor category. So okay, whenever the air quality index reaches very poor category, that is 301 to 400 range, doesn't start on that day, but 3 days prior to that day. Okay, and stage 3 is when it reaches severe category, that is 3 days ahead of the severe categories, 401 to 450 range, and the severe plus category, when it reaches almost 3 days prior to severe plus category, stage 4 is launched. That is when it is above 450. Okay, remember the range, 201 to 300 is poor category, 301 to 400 is very poor category, 401 to 450 is what severe category, and 450 plus is severe plus category, and all the stages are launched. So first stage is when it reaches the poor category, and the rest of the stages 3 days prior to the corresponding categories. Okay, so that is how graded response action plan is launched. And the reason there has been recent changes, that is in 2022, changes have been added to what graded response action plan. And yes, earlier the implementing authority was what Environment Pollution Prevention and Control Authority, that is EPCA, until 2020. And now, since 2020, it is Commission for Air Quality Management, who is implementing the graded response action plan. Okay, and in the latest GRP, that is graded response action plan, there is a concept called preemptive measures. So I already told you, right? Earlier, like the plan is launched, the action plan is launched 3 days prior. Okay, prior. So that means it is based on the forecast. Okay, so it is based on the forecast of the air quality index. This is being implemented. Okay, but earlier it was just what when it reaches that level, that when the air quality reaches poor level, or when it reaches a severe category, it will be implemented. But now it is changed to what 3 days prior. That means it is a preemptive measure. It is based on the forecast. Okay, and also yes, there is a change in pollutant range. Earlier it was based only on PM 2.5 and PM 10, but now it is based on the air quality index. That means there are other pollutants also taken into consideration, that is NOx, NO2, SO2, carbon monoxide, ozone, etc. Apart from PM 2.5 and PM 10. Okay, so these are the changes, latest changes. So remember, it is Commission for Air Quality Management, which is implementing agency. Then there is focus on preemptive measure. That is, it is based on forecast. That is, the graded response action plan would be launched, and the pollutants has been changed. That is, earlier it was only PM 2.5 and PM 10. Now it is based on air quality index. Okay, so these are the changes which has happened recently to graded response action plan. Okay, apart from that, there are other changes also which has taken place. That is, whenever somebody declares a stage 3 severe category restrictions, okay, yes. So at that particular time, the state government's NCR region should impose restriction on what BS3 petrol vehicle and BS4 diesel vehicles. So we'll see what is BS3 and BS4 later. But remember, whenever there is a severe category, that is stage 3, this graded response action plan means state government should impose restriction on BS3 petrol vehicles and BS4 diesel vehicles. And also, there should be restrictions on some of the construction, not all construction activities, but some construction activities, which was earlier in only severe plus categories. Okay. And when we reach the severe plus categories, the new restriction says that there should be complete ban on what construction activities on projects such as highways, roads, flyover, etc. It should be complete ban. Okay. And also, we can also opt for other additional measures such as closure of school, odd even policy, etc. So what is odd even policy? Yes, on odd dates, the odd numbered car should only run on the, or vehicles should only be on the floor, on the roads. On even days, only even numbered. That is vehicle based on the vehicle number. Okay, such vehicles should be on the road. So that is a policy by the Delhi government, odd even policy. Okay. So these are the changes which has happened. So when it is severe 3, that is stage 3, that is severe category, there is a ban or restriction on BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel vehicles in the Delhi NCR region. Also, there is a certain restriction on construction activities. When severe plus categories, then complete ban on the construction activities such as highways, roadways, etc. And also additional measures such as what closure of schools or even policy, etc., would be implemented. Okay, so that is graded response action plan. So this is important because UPSC's favorite area is air pollution and also all the initiatives under air pollution. So since the latest edition is there, graded response action plan or latest changes, this would be asked. This could be asked. Okay, this high chance that it will be asked. Okay. Now we'll move on to the last topic, that is Bharat stage norms or Bharat stage emission standards. Okay, it is actually based on the Euro norms. Okay, so we'll see that is what is Bharat stage emission standards. It's actually the standards, okay, based on what the output of air pollutants in internal combustion engines. So what happened was by 1990s, that is 1999, late 1990s, government recognized what? Yes, the vehicular emissions are one of the major reasons of air pollution, especially in regions such as Delhi NCR. Okay. During that time, they tried to restrict what all the industries and everything. Still, there was air pollution. So they understood that what vehicles are one of the major causes of what air pollution. So that is why they set standards for internal combustion engines of vehicles. Okay. So yes, there are two things that which there are restrictions. First one is they set standards for new vehicles. Whenever a new vehicle is manufactured, it should be based on the BS norms. Okay. And also they put restriction on what? The petrol and diesel. They put standards for petrol and diesel fuels. Okay. There should be decrease in what? SOx and NOx in the concentration of petrol and diesel. Okay. This also has been constituted. Okay. And in April 1999, yes, the Supreme Court ordered all vehicles should meet what Euro 1 standards or India 2000 norms, which is later called the Bharat stage norms by June. Okay, that was the first time this Bharat stage norms was launched. Okay, and yes, CPCB is the organization which sets what timelines, which has to be followed by the industries to. Just 1 minute. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so remember, yeah, we were speaking about the CPC Bharat stage norms. So central CPCB is sets timelines and standards for what uh, yeah, for this Bharat stage norms. Yes, and it is based on what European emission standards. So BS5 norms were skipped. Yeah, another interesting thing is we were following the BS4 norms, and yes, the pollution still was not declining. So what did the government do? They skipped the BS5 norms and told that by 2020 we would adopt to what BS6 norms. Okay, so these are the latest norms. So according to latest standards, we are following the BS6 norms. Okay, and they tried to what curb the pollution. That is, in Delhi and NCR region, actually BS3 vehicles and BS4 diesel vehicles are actually banned. Okay, in order to curb the pollution. Okay, so that is CPCB. So yes, it is based on what European emission stand norms. So BS5 norms are there, and BS6 norms are there, and latest we have actually skipped the BS5 norms. So we just have BS4 earlier, and after that we adopted the BS6 norms. Okay. Okay, so we'll see what are the changes in the standards, that is BS5 and BS4 and BS6. So basically, they are trying to control what the sulfur, presence of sulfur in auto fuel, and also the nitrous oxides. Okay, so they are trying to reduce drastically, 80% reduction in the sulfur. That is from earlier 50 parts per million in BS4 standards, we are reducing the 10 parts per million. Okay, that is the level of the what this reduction, 80% reduction of sulfur. Then we have nitrous oxides, that is from diesel cars. There's 70% reduction in diesel cars and 25% reduction in the petrol engines. Okay, so in sulfur there is 80% reduction. That is, we have only 10. The standard sets 10 parts per million. Only 10 parts per million should be released from the vehicles. And in terms of NOx, diesel cars should reduce at least by 70% and petrol cars by 25%. Petrol engines. Okay. And also there should be a phenomenal decrease in what the particulate matter, PM 2.5 and PM 10 by at least 80%. Okay. These are the latest changes to BS6 standards. Okay. So BS6, there is a shift from BS4 to BS6, and we have skipped what the BS5 standards. Okay. So yes, with that, we'll end the topics today. So we have covered almost all the important topics with regard to what the biodiversity and climate change, and also we have started discussing about the pollution. Okay, so like initially we spoke about all the initiatives such as green agriculture project, which is of FAO and which is implemented in the Desert National Park. Okay, then we spoke about the Desert National Park. Okay, and also Great Indian Bustard. Then we spoke about the Convention on Migratory Species. It is also called the Bond Convention, and it is for conservation of what terrestrial, marine, and avian migratory species. Okay, and the latest COP was held in Gandhinagar, and we adopted what the National Action Plan for Central Asian Flyway. Okay, so India is part of the Central Asian Flyway, and yes, the latest plan. We also have what species such as latest CMS we adopted what included species such as Asian elephant, jaguar, and Great Indian Bustard. Then we looked into Project Elephant, which is a flagship initiative of Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change, and it tries to it's a central sponsored scheme which tries to protect elephant habitat and the corridor, right? And also it tries to reduce man-animal conflict and ensures welfare of captive elephants. Okay, yeah, this is actually important because recently there has been changes with regard to what in the Wildlife Protection Act, right? We saw it in the first class with regard to the capture of live elephants. Okay, and also we spoke about the Mike site, which is under CITES agreement, all the Mike sites across India. Okay, then we saw Project Rehab, where bees are used to reduce the human-elephant conflict, that is reducing elephant-human attacks using bees. Okay, We are trying to create bee fences. Okay, then we have Shivalik elephant reserves. Okay, we spoke about, which is what in Uttarakhand. Okay, then we spoke about snow leopard various initiatives, and the cat, that is snow leopard is vulnerable according to IUCN Red List, and the conservation initiatives such as Himal Sanrakshak, that's a national protocol, then Secure Himalayas by Global Environment Facility and UNDP. Then there is Project Snow Leopard. Then there is Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program across 12 snow leopard ranging countries. So we saw all the countries. Remember, all the stans except Turkmenistan is there. Okay. And also we have India, Nepal, Bhutan, and China. On top there is Russia and Mongolia, and on the west part there is Afghanistan, Pakistan. Okay. And then there is a Living Himalayan initiative by WWF in the eastern part of Himalayas, that is Bhutan, India, and Nepal. Okay. Then we spoke about Sangai deer, which is also state animal of Manipur. Okay. And yes, it is. We spoke about the what? It is an endangered species which is found in Loktak Lake and also on the Fundis. Then we spoke about Kebul Lamdev National Park and Loktak Lake. Okay, it is also a part of what the Montreux record of Ramsar Convention. Then we spoke about Dugong Conservation Reserve in Park Bay, which is what a new initiative by the Tamil Nadu government. Okay, and we saw about the species of dugongs, which is a vulnerable species, but it is the only what herbivorous species found in the sea, and the initiatives by the government in order to protect what dugongs. Then we spoke about the forest conservation rules and other acts such as Forest Conservation Act, National Forest Policy, and CAMPA, that is Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act, and the CAMPA funds. Okay. Then the State of Forest report, where we focus on the forest cover, the states with highest area, that is Madhya Pradesh, followed by Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Maharashtra, and the percentage wise Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, etc. Okay. Then also the tiger reserves, tiger corridors, and Gir forest. First time was assessed the forest cover in these regions. Okay. And the important tiger reserves which were assessed. Also, there has been increase in what mangrove forests. Okay. And then we spoke about the Kangar Ghati National Park in Chhattisgarh region. Okay. Then also the Tree City of the World, which is an initiative by what United Nations FAO and Arbor Day Foundation. It has recognized Hyderabad and Mumbai as the three cities of the world. Then we spoke about the Ramsar Convention, the Montreux Record, and the latest Ramsar sites. Okay. Then Wuhan Declaration on Wetlands. It recognizes the as conservation of wetlands necessity to adapt to climate change. Okay. And Global Wetland Outlook recognizes what the impacts of climate change such as sea level rise, global warming, etc. on wetlands. Okay. Then we moved on to pollution. The first initiative, that is National Clean Air Program by MOFCC. Okay. And the target is initial target was 20 to 30% of PM 2.5 and PM 10 by 2024. But it has changed recently to renew the target to 40% reduction by 2026. Okay. The cases city specific action program, and also we spoke about the Prana portal. Okay, portal for what monitoring various initiatives by the cities and also the progress made. And other air quality standards such as WHO's air quality guidelines, ambient air quality standards, and air quality index, and all the pollutants in these. That is 6 pollutants for what air quality guidelines, that is PM 2.5, PM 10, ozone, nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon monoxide. 12 pollutants for National Ambient Air Quality Standards, and 8 for Air Quality Index. Okay, and we saw how the color grid pattern is used for what air quality index. Then with the SAFER system, that is System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research. Okay, this is the initiative by Ministry of Earth Science. You remember the ministry, okay? Then the latest initiative, that is Graded Response Action Plan, especially in Delhi NCR region. Okay, how it is kick-started and the latest changes, the various stages and the latest changes. Okay, so it is implemented by Commission for Air Quality Management, and there is focus on preemptive measures. It is based on the forecast of air quality index. Earlier it was just for PM 2.5 and PM10. Now it is changed for what? Air quality index, other pollutants of air quality index. Okay. And how the severe and severe plus categories are kickstarted. And the restrictions in that. Okay. And the latest one is and the last topic was the Bharat stage emission standards, which is what adopted from the Euro standards. Okay, Euro standards. Okay, it actually measures what the difference, the sulfur, the pollutant levels, and it also sets standards for what the internal combustion engines, both for the engines as well as both for new vehicles as well as the petrol, commercial petrol and diesel. Okay, and CPCB sets the timelines and targets. We have skipped the fifth stage, and BS6 is the latest, was adopted in 2020. Okay, and the difference is that there is drastic decrease in sulfur dioxides, that is 80% reduction, and NOx, that is nitrogen oxide, there is 70% reduction in diesel vehicles and 25% in petrol engines. Apart from that, particular matter would be reduced by 80%. Okay, so these are the changes, reductions that will happen. Okay, so these are the important topics. We'll have 2 more sessions to complete the rest of the topics. Okay, thank you.